We are the daughters of Gaia, born of her body and of blood. We are vengeance. We are the Black Furies.
Coming at you from Scratch and Wolf Studios. This is your latest episode of Rage Across the Internet, your very favorite Werewolf the Apocalypse podcast. I'm your host, Porter. To my right here is producer Danny.
Hey, everybody.
Danny, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good.
How'd you like my lady voice on that?
Lady voice, huh?
Yeah, for that quote, it was pretty good, huh?
Yeah, it was almost too good.
Well, you know, I am a master of my craft. Or we have a special guest with us today.
Yeah, I think it's that one.
Coming in remote from the Great White North, I present one of our patrons and a very good friend of the show, Melissa. Melissa, how you doing?
How's it going, eh? It's about time you had me on here.
Perfect.
Yeah,
I had to get the Canadian colloquialisms out at the start.
I'm sorry, what?
I had to get them out at the beginning.
Glad you could join us today.
Yes, thank you, Melissa, for being here.
It is an honor.
Awesome.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Look at that. So, you know, we're here to break open another ancient vase in Tempt the Curse of our tribal series. And
That's how we're putting it.
Yeah, well, you know, why not? We are peeing in the hidden temple, defiling the elders with another tribal.
Yep.
Braving that curse.
Hey, man, we said it, like, no more curse, but still trying to prevent it.
I'm tempting fate.
I know.
We have a guest. They wouldn't do this to a guest.
No.
Except for every other time we've had a guest.
That's true, too.
Literally.
Oh, my God, I didn't even think about that.
So let's see if you can break the other curse this time. What do you think, Melissa?
Absolutely, because nobody would curse a Canadian. We have enough issues. We're on top of America.
Oh.
It's going to be like that, huh?
Okay.
It's going to be that kind of show?
No. I have the utmost respect for the U.S. I have a lot of friends who are in the U.S., and this podcast is hosted in the U.S., so yay them.
Oh,
Yay.
is that where we're from? I didn't know that.
I don't even know what to do with either one of you. Right
No,
now,
it's fine.
to be honest. These are goddamn ridiculous.
At least I'll be able to correct your French.
Oh.
We don't, listen. We happen to be a very multinational show here. We speak a lot of languages, and we speak them with aplomb.
Yes.
Or
Swahili, German, there was some Farsi that one time.
Pig Latin.
That's right. Je m'appelle.
Of course.
Which, of course, is Pig Latin for it's nice to have you in studio with us, Danny.
It's nice to be here. Oh, man, we got a show. So.
We're certainly, eventually.
Eventually.
Nothing is happening.
We'll get it going.
Well, let's start at the start.
Yep.
You know, we tend to do these in advance. So I'm gonna call an audible here.
Okay.
I'm gonna fuck with our timetable. Something fierce.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah, you ready?
Oh, boy. Okay.
So if you're hearing this, our store has returned.
Oh, you did it.
I did it.
You did it.
The store is back, everybody. We found... Oh, yeah, sorry.
Kazoo Jamboree. Finally. Celebration.
Yep, the store is, it's back and running.
Yeah.
We think we've got the vendors for us.
Yeah.
And the situation's going to benefit everybody. We've got some options for our folks overseas.
Yeah, well, quite a few this time.
Yep. So hopefully some of these issues will not be a problem. But hey, to celebrate that,
Yeah.
we are running a special promotion for members of our Discord only. That's right. You join our Discord, and you will get the coupon code for 10% off your first order.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So,
Huh.
what's the code? I'm not going to tell you. It'll be in Discord. Pay attention.
Get in Discord, get the code to the store. And again, celebration for reopening, because this has been a long time coming.
Right. And in fact, to be clear, this is Season 2 merch. So the Season 1 merch, those of you who have it, That shit's limited edition.
Yeah, limited edition.
Don't break that cup, man. You can't get another one. I mean, you can get another one, but it's going to be Season 2 cup.
Yeah, well, I broke mine.
It's a better cup.
Season 2 is going to be better cup?
That's the larger ones, the 15-ounces.
Oh, good, because I broke it. Hey, you get knocked off the wall, man.
And while you're on your Discord, you can say hi to us.
Yeah, we're always there.
Yeah, somebody's always...
Somebody's there.
But we spend time there. You spend as much time as you can. I'm there a lot.
Yes, you are.
I'm able to be there a lot right now, though. So, but yeah, you can talk werewolf with us or some of the colorful characters of the Discord. Melissa being one of them, who may have fallen asleep, which is a bad sign for our show.
No, I'm just waiting for you to get your Discord business out of the way so that we can begin.
No, you gotta screw around with us. It's fine.
Yeah, haven't you listened to the show before?
Hey, come on.
All the time.
Sitting there
Tuesday morning, I get my coffee, sign into work, and then on goes the headset so I can listen to the podcast.
That happens. She's not even snowing you. That's true, because she's there in Discord while it's happening. So you can pop in and send her condolences for having to deal with us for the remainder of this show.
You're not that bad.
Put that on my tombstone. Shit.
Yeah, but the Discord, we're all hanging out again, and you're gonna get that code for the 10% off for the store.
Got some good stuff there.
That's some cool. Oh man, I'm so excited for the new mug.
Got some weird shit in there too.
I think my daughter would really like that.
Your daughter?
Your daughter? Oh, Jade, right?
Yes.
Yeah, hi Jade.
Hi, Jade. How's Jade doing?
Jade is doing very well. She's currently hanging out with her dad. But she did say that as soon as this went live, she was going to be on top of it and listening.
Well, that's awesome to hear.
Well, but she's caught up though, right?
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Awesome.
Well, I guess the perks of that is you could just ground her if she's not.
Pretty much.
There you go.
Jade, how was the episode? I didn't listen yet. You're grounded.
See?
Simple as that.
Simple.
Parenting advice. You see, we offer another service.
Yeah. Magical powers, man. We'll tell Jade we said hi, and thanks for listening.
I will do.
Awesome.
Oh, she can hear it herself.
And when she hears this episode, hey, Jade, how about you come join us in the Discord, too?
You can get a 10% off for the store.
There you go. Yes. Here we go.
Yeah, we're going to talk about the Black Furies, huh?
Yeah, so, I mean, the Discord's... That's all we got. We've got the other business, but you've all heard it enough, and that's where most of your stuff's coming from is Discord.
Yep, 5 stars, thumbs up, 4 stars, help us out, spread the word.
Yep, Patreon.
Yep.
Get shit back.
Join the set. Mighty, powerful, makes better, make you better. Everyone's better with thumbs ups and reviews and good. You know what to do. You do it.
Please.
Please and thank you.
Yeah, there you go.
That's for a Canadian friend here. Being extra polite.
Extra polite. Okay.
All right, let's light this candle, eh?
Yeah, the Black Furies.
They are definitely furious.
Furious against Fury?
So, Melissa, why don't you tell us a bit about the Black Furies?
I think they're a very interesting tribe. I find their way of handling things a little bit off-putting sometimes, but like all tribes, I think they have a certain nobility to them. And I guess I just like the way they approach the triad. They approach it via the fates. They have very strong roots with their with Greek ancestry and Greek mythology, and I think that's something that kind of has to play through even their sacred duty. And it's that sacred duty that they talk about in the tribe book that really appeals to me as a female player. I know I also play Get Fenris often as well, but the Black Furies really do appeal to that feminism that I think some games do not have.
Okay.
I see where she's going with it, yeah.
Now it's interesting you bring up the Greek mythology.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, that was something that I noticed right away, is that much like the Get Fenris, is their background is festooned in mythology.
Yeah, it's big time.
Yeah.
Maybe not as much as the Get.
I think it's pretty deep in the roots there.
Yes, I agree. It's deep in the roots, but it's not just almost verbatim.
Oh, the Get, the Norse mythology, they play fast and loose with that with the Get, too, man. You know, I mean, like, look, I was never a history guy. I was always a mythology. I was a mythology guy coming up. You know, and I mean, I kind of geared away from it over the years, but, you know, there's still some of that base, you know, in my past. And so there's a level where I don't have a problem following, but I think it's the same with the Get of Fenris, where you lose something if you're not more familiar.
Yeah,
It
okay,
can
I see what you're saying.
confuse the issue.
Yeah.
You know, I think, you know, it's a little bit of a problem the same way as it is with the Get, or the same way the Henki Yokai mythos muddles up the works in the Stargazers.
No, it makes sense what you're saying, yeah. Because I didn't follow much of the Greek mythology as I did.
But you were more familiar with the Norse, so you see,
exactly.
coming into the Norse mythology, knowing fuck all about it, you're kind of lost.
Yes.
It's the same thing.
Agreed, yeah.
Yeah, just interesting for as much as they hate the Get of Fenris, how similar, that
they are to
particular facet is. And actually, when we're on that, something else I noted, it was how in the Shadow Lord book, it was expressly stated that, hey, we're going to lie to you a couple times here. There's some bullshit in this. That same goes in the Black Fury book.
They said the same?
They said the same. In fact, they said just like the Shadow Lords, who are way cooler than us at every level. And I thought that was a bit of a surprise.
I'm sorry, I missed that entirely. Did you say that the Shadow Lords were cooler than the Black Furies? Because I know you didn't say that.
Well, no, that's an abject fact. But I'm saying is the book said that.
I think you're paraphrasing just a little bit.
I am paraphrasing. I have the quote here. Much like the Shadow Lords, who are far superior to us, there are half-truths and outright lies in this book.
Oh, they did say that.
No, not at all.
I was going to say,
what are you
wait a
reading,
minute.
then?
But
Nice try.
But they do. I admitted it. but they do. But it does say in that book that there are half-truths and outright lies within the tome.
Right.
You know, which again I appreciate. Again, like the Shadow Lords, there's a level of
take with what I'm saying with a grain of salt.
With a grain of salt, a level of honesty about their dishonesty.
Yeah,
I can appreciate that.
Yes,
you always like when someone can admit that they're full of shit, even a little.
Even if it's just a little bit, at least they're admitting it.
Well, because everyone's just a little bit full of shit.
Yeah. So we can start, I guess, from the beginning. Well, hey Melissa, how did this tribe start?
Well, from what I understand is that this tribe sort of considers itself as having a particularly sacred duty. It talks about how, they were pulled out of the very earth itself, out of Gaia herself, to basically see what Gaia had heard the cries, not of the children being born and people dying, because at the end of their life, but those in between, those who were being sort of attacked, murdered, killed, and it's that reaction to those cries of pain and sorrow, and that the Black Furies are formed, and they talk about how that they are the answer to the cries of the dying. Those that were taken down by kin. And they talk specifically about husbands and sons, and they talk about how, they were formed by the ground stained red by blood. They're female, they're bearers of life so that they may never take a life thoughtlessly. Their fur is black so the wicked might fear their righteous wrath. And they hunt the kinslayers and the profaners of nature, so protect their Gaia. And that is how they talk about how they were actually formed. And I know that can be, that sort of concept can lead to a very broad brush about the Black Furies as being man-haters. And I think that they don't help themselves by using this as an example. Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah,
yeah, no, we're with you. Well, that whole thing. That whole anti-men thing, it's a little...
Off-putting?
Well, it's definitely a little off-putting, but I think it's a little cliche. And I mean, frankly, I'm bored with it already. I was bored with it 20 minutes ago. And that has nothing to do with you, Melissa, to be clear.
No.
It's pushed on too hard.
Yeah, it's such a concept. I'm already bored with that concept. It's something... It's the laziest way to do it. You know, I think it's unhelpful for groups.
Yeah,
It
agreed.
is really unhelpful for groups.
Yeah, you know.
And I've seen groups like this where, you know, people have chosen to play a Black Fury and they come out all guns blazing and it is not fun. I'm going to be honest. I have seen people, male and females, try to play a Black Fury as this man-hating, walking testosterone, well, a bitch. And that really isn't fun to play with. It's not fun to interact with. It's not fun to play. So I think that the stereotype of them being sort of these man-hating lesbians on like 24/7 menstrual cycles is just, it's stupid. Come on, let's give this tribe something that they are really good at. And they really are good at being representatives of the female gender.
I'm with you. I appreciated stuff like, you know, the motherly aspects and like the motherly aspects of defending. Mm-hmm. But they don't push on that nearly as much as the anti-man.
Well, and that's the thing is it's easier and it's like insulting to everyone.
Yeah.
And you know, maybe I'm the asshole. I'm not interested in that, you know, that bullshit acrimony. You know, this game. I mean, there's a lot of facets to the game.
Yes.
You know, there's some definite bleak shit, but that bleak shit, here's the thing, is done in fun. And that sounds weird as hell. You know, it's especially to someone who's maybe newer to the game. But we can go to these deep and dark places the same way you can go to a horror movie and come out smiling and laughing.
Right.
Because we're visiting that.
Yeah.
We're visiting that world and we're visiting it around a table with our friends, and then that's over. And it's okay.
Yeah.
You know,
and no one's offended by what you had to say because you were saying it in character.
And so, I mean, that whole aspect, that's not something we are going to dwell on. We have probably heard the last of it for the episode.
Good.
Well, I'm glad you're on the same page with us then, Melissa, because it makes sense why they would do it, but to hear it from like the female perspective, it's that even from you, it's bullshit.
It is. It's total bullshit. And I don't like when everyone assumes that if I say I'm playing a Black Fury, that they automatically assume I'm going to be a man-hating bitch. And then they start treating me as treating my character in such a way. And
exactly.
I'd rather play my character the way I developed her. And
imagine that.
Yeah.
That's, yeah. I hate that stereotype.
Well, we ain't dealing with it anymore, so
yeah, look at that.
We kicked that shit out of here like a minute ago.
Good.
It's spitting on the window, point of fact. So, to move forward a second, they don't discuss the War of Rage.
No, weird. It's so weird. Like they pretend it didn't exist.
I mean, they talk about the Impersium, that they were front runners. They were right up there. They claim they were right up there with the Talons, which is not the first time, or it's not the last time we're going to hear that sentence over the course of this episode.
Okay.
Also weird.
A little bit.
Yeah, they were right up there with the War of Rage. Like,
Impersium.
Who is talking? It's the Impersium. Thank you, Danny. What am I saying?
Depends on what day it is.
But yeah, they're right up there with the Impersium. But yeah, didn't mention the War of Rage.
No.
That's so fucking bizarre.
But even with the Impersium, though, the ending it, they don't take full credit. They take some credit, but not full credit. You know, it was more of the other tribes convinced them to lay down their weapons.
Well, see, I don't have credit for it. You were going to say, Melissa. Just butt on in. It's okay. You've heard the show.
Anytime.
Yeah, no.
Just steamroll this idiot. It's fine.
I noticed that they didn't talk much about the War of Rage 2, and I don't understand why.
Yeah, it's a very bizarre omission. I mean, they talk about the second War of Rage very briefly, but they don't acknowledge it as the second War of Rage.
Which was even weirder.
Yeah. I mean, like, you know, full disclosure, when I do my research, I have the PDFs. I mean, I have all the books, too, but I have the PDFs. And so I search for the terms sometimes. And so, like, the term War of Rage appears, I think, twice in the book.
At all.
At all. And it's only in reference to the second War of Rage.
So weird.
Yeah.
Huh.
Now, if they were to call it something else...
Well, then I'm screwed.
But why would they call it something else compared to anybody else in the Garou Nation at all?
Oh, but I'm also not the only one who found it odd that there wasn't a mention of it. So
yeah, well,
either none of us can read, or it's not in there.
There you go.
Yeah, I honestly, I don't think it was really. I can't say it wasn't a factor because I'm sure it was, but yeah, I don't know.
Well, it's definitely odd.
Yeah. I mean, I wish we could talk about it. They gave us nothing.
Well, I like, though, if we're going back closer to, like, the beginning.
Okay.
You know, they're the only tribe to mention that the Weaver is male.
Yes.
Because they don't.
What do you mean?
They do and they don't. So at the beginning, I know we had this conversation earlier. At the beginning, they do talk about the Weaver as being male. And they do mention the fact that some consider the Weaver as being male because the Weaver doesn't produce anything. It doesn't give life to anything.
Yeah, it can't create, so why would it be male?
But see, and I almost didn't bring it up because I didn't have the time to do the extra research. Mm-hmm. And I don't remember, so I didn't really want to go on record with this. You suck.
Sorry.
But what about the Ananasi?
Oh God, spiders! Ew.
Didn't the Weaver give birth to Queen Ananasi?
Yes.
I am like 40% sure on this.
40%?
So I didn't want to bring it up.
Oh, okay.
But
no, I get it, and I apologize. I didn't realize you weren't trying to do it, but
yeah, no, I was backing off that because I didn't have time to look it up.
I thought it was funny.
They actually refer to the triad as the three fates from mythology, and they refer to the Weaver as and I'm going to butcher the Greek name because I'm not Greek, but it's Lachius or something like that. And many tribes consider this female male, and is called the namer by some in the tribe, independent of gender. So it's almost like she appears as the matron in all of this. They have the wild as the maiden, the mother is the Weaver, and the worm is the crone. And it's these three fates that they subscribed the triad to. So in effect, while in some aspects, on some points of the book, they do refer to the Weaver as he, they also have the Weaver as she, because she is tempered and she controls everything. She's sort of puts the limits like a mother would on a child. She puts the limits on the wild's creation.
Huh. Which is, I mean, that's, yes, but it's interesting when you find those contradictions here and there because, it does in the beginning. Yes. She's clear about it. I don't remember the name of the Garou who narrates it. Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
But whoever it is, she's pretty clear on it. And yet, as you bring up, and you bring up the three fates too, which, is something they do in terms of the triad, but we're later on going to bring up those, the fates again in another context entirely.
Ooh.
That's what we call foreshadowing. It's very technical.
Yeah, a little bit.
Now something, because we're kind of jumping around here.
Yeah, a little bit.
And that's
fine.
Yeah, I'm okay with it.
It's fine.
It's something we don't very often talk about, but it's something I was reading. It was, doing my research, and it really stuck out to me. And we're gonna talk a lot about tribal conflict not today, but in the future.
Right.
Around the time of the Storm Eater.
Okay.
All right. It's it's almost like an appetizer at this point for that eventual tribal conflict stuff. I bring up the case of Dara Zirian, who is claimed to be the first sacrifice and the right to bring about to end the Storm Eater. All right.
Okay.
Now, in the last tribal.
Yeah, I was gonna say when they brought up was it Dark Claws of Vengeance?
It was Dark Claw. Good on you, Danny.
Yeah, I remember the 13 warriors that needed to be sacrificed.
Yeah, he was the Shadow Lord that stood up and convinced the rest of the European Garou that this is going to happen. Mm-hmm. Now, that's the thing, is he according to them, the Dark Claw of Vengeance was the first of the Shadow Lords. He was the first to get to agree to it.
Okay.
And the one to convince the others. Here in the Black Fury book, it says Dara was the first to be sacrificed. Now, those are different things.
Yeah. Yes.
But you can see how through the oral tradition of the Garou Nation,
Yeah.
And just a choice of sentence structure can make it sound like those are contradictory statements.
Yeah.
And is automatically fucking fighting words.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just by different punctuation, you're right. Just by sentence structure, it could be misconstrued totally different from tribe to tribe. And again, the oral tradition, the oral history, playing telephone here.
Yep.
Someone's...
So both of those can be true. But if you just read it real quick, or maybe didn't say it right, you're a liar, and you suck, and your ancestors suck, and we're going to war.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that way, yeah.
It was just something that stuck out at me. Because, I mean, eventually we are going to be talking about those conflicts and how to handle those and, some of the cool shit we can do with it. And I thought, hey, a little appetizer for it.
I like it.
And then at the same time, talking about Dara, who was the first to be sacrificed.
Right. Gotta make sure we use the punctuation correctly for us.
Well, yeah. I mean, I see in the book itself that it says a crone calling herself Daria was the first to sacrifice her own life. So it sounds like she had more of a choice rather than she was just tossed in there.
Well, no, they all agreed it was a self-sacrifice. What is it Daria?
Yeah, Dara Ziatin.
Dara or Daria?
It says Dara,
no idea.
Dara.
Okay, that's what I had down too. I thought you said Daria. I'm like, shit, did I typo that name and just
Dara.
fuck it up for everybody?
Let's go with Dara.
Yeah, Dara. But yeah.
Well, going back to the Greek mythology part.
Yeah.
They talked about how Luna was known to them as Artemis, which was always cool, and very little of the Greek mythology I did know. I did like Artemis. I thought that was always cool. But Artemis, or Luna, would teach the first pack of Black Furies about Garu and about Gaia and about being her defenders. And as more packs would grow, or more packs would form, Luna gave each of them a role. And then that first pack, there were 5, each of the auspices. And those were the Gorgons, which their name for it, again, was really cool. And then Artemis being the first totem of the Black Furies. And then, again, as more packs would be formed, Luna said, there's too many of you, I can't keep track of just one. I need to do all of you, so you can have Pegasus.
I do not envy that pack, though. With Luna as a totem. I mean, look, not to compound an issue here, but Luna is a notoriously crazy bitch.
For sure.
That is not a totem I want to be taking marching orders from.
Yeah.
Fucking run and hide.
Well, that's the thing, too, that she would create Pegasus from Medusa's corpse. And Medusa being the last of the Gorgons to survive.
May or may not come up later again. So, foreshadowing. It's a thing.
Yes, it is.
It's a term.
So
we lost contact with Melissa. Did we lose Melissa again?
No, I think Pegasus is interesting as a tribal totem because, again, Pegasus is neither male nor female. They don't subscribe a gender at all to the totem. So, and again, they specify that in the book. I don't know. In popular culture, Pegasus has always been male.
Has it?
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I never contributed to male.
Hercules. I think it was Hercules, wasn't he, that rode the horse?
Well, but I guess maybe this is me.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe this is just a Porter thing. But aside from Mr. Ed, I have never thought about or cared about the gender of a horse. And I didn't even really care about Mr. Ed, but it was right there for you.
Yeah, I was going to say, but it says Mr., so it's already done.
Well, neither did I, actually. So I expected it being, I thought, when I was doing my research for this, is that I thought, okay, well, this is going to be really strange. The tribal totem is, what, male? And they specifically say that they don't put a gender on Pegasus at all, that it's neither male nor female. So I'm thinking, okay, that's the way to get around it then.
So just like in real life, the Pegasus is hatch from an egg.
Yeah. I guess.
Okay. Well, it's good. It's,
just like in real life, huh?
Just like in real life.
Yeah.
You go to the patch and you have to pet the Pegasus eggs.
You'll have to tell me where this real life is.
Which one's going to be deformed and come out a unicorn and have to go work with the children of Gaia.
Oh.
Ooh.
That's the game we're playing.
Dude, I just said Pegasus eggs. Come
I know.
on. There's no rules.
There's no rules.
Very good. Okay.
Oh, man. Okay.
No, if you don't laugh, it's bad. You don't have to hold that in.
All right, well, there was a story in there about a pack who were pretty much, well, we'll just call them it was like the greatest loss of their tribe. They consider it the greatest loss of their tribe. The entire tribe of Black Furies, this is our greatest loss. But they refuse to tell anybody about it.
This is weird to me.
Yeah, if it's the greatest loss, why would you not tell anybody?
Well, it also, that's your greatest loss?
I mean, it's a big deal.
It's not a small deal.
Okay.
But maybe we should let you continue to talk about it. We should continue to talk about it.
All right. Well, it was a pack named the Stream Runners. And long story short, they found like some heavy metals leaking into like fresh waters.
Doing their work.
Yep. And then they would trace back all the problems back to an abandoned silver mine.
Which festooned with the worm.
Yeah. It was a spiral hive, essentially.
Yep.
And being that they were environmentalists. So this is a big deal. It's a big deal because it's hurting Gaia. It's a big deal. It's hurting the wild. It's the worm.
Yeah, I mean, there's trifecta. There's no downside to this. Except, instead of, like, getting backup,
yeah,
they pull the white howler and just ran the fuck in there.
Yep. Nope. We're good enough. We can do it our own. And they just, guns blazing, head first.
And then, of course, they come out the Twisted Stepmothers.
Which, and I get why you would say this is their biggest loss, but they're still a problem.
No. They're absolutely a problem. Melissa, you read about this?
Yeah, I did actually. I don't know if it has something to do with the fact that maybe the Black Furies think themselves better than this, and that the arrogance that is usually ascribed in other tribes, and not necessarily them, is why they consider it one of their greatest loss, because it literally was one of the stupidest things anyone could have possibly done.
Agreed.
Yeah, it was kind of a no-brainer outcome.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, look, they've been a problem since, and like there's 6 of them, and they're kidnapping baby Black Furies left and right.
Yeah.
And they're Galliard. Was it Othala Childslayer? Which fucking on that name.
That is a pretty creepy name.
Yeah, it's great. Like she knows a shit ton of secrets.
Yeah.
She's been around. She knows a lot of shit. And the first thing I think of is the Scepter of the Bygone Visions.
Oh yeah, no, I know where you're going with this.
There's a talent of the worm in that fucking armory.
Holy shit.
So there's a lot of potential, like for stories there. To use them as threats. And so I'm not saying it's not a loss. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying that the Silent Striders lost access to their ancestors in their tribal homeland.
And they don't consider that their greatest loss?
The Wendigo and the Uktena lost just so much land. and kin. The Croton can't even complain anymore. But the Black Furies lost a pack once.
Yeah. I know where you're going. Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. Greatest loss. A pack one time.
Yeah, but you're comparing apples to oranges. The
Both
Black
are
Furies
fruit.
might
You're
see
welcome.
You're actually comparing their loss, which they might actually say is their greatest loss. They've never really lost tribal homelands like the Striders have. They haven't, had to deal with worm comers like the Wendigo and the Uktena have. It's not the same thing.
That's kind of my point.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I think you're right. I think it kind of does seem a little off balance. but there's got to be more to this than the tribe book is telling us, right? It's got to be more.
Like you would think, but this is the place to tell us.
Yes, but maybe it's a source of shame, or maybe the publishers of this particular book just didn't want to do it. I don't know.
I mean, what you mentioned with that Pax Galliard and the secrets she knows, maybe that's where it goes. And again, it's speculation because the book doesn't explain.
No, and I just think it was to the ballsy to call that their greatest loss, and just how statistically improbable that is. I mean, that's like, Danny, how was your day? Oh, well, I stepped on a landmine somehow, so I can't walk anymore. How was your day, Porter? Oh, well, got rabies and
the worst
and malaria.
day I ever had.
How about yours, Melissa? I dropped a quarter down a sewer grate.
It was the worst day ever.
Right?
It would be. I'm kidding. Yeah, no, I agree. On levels, it doesn't equal, but maybe it's a source of shame as well. I mean, again, the book doesn't really specify, but yeah, yeah,
definitely. It actually, we're talking about it. It makes me think of the Fianna stereotype for the Striders in Werewolf 20.
Okay,
I'm going to paraphrase here. I don't remember the exact quote. But it's like, the thing about these guys is no matter how many tales of sorrow and woe we tell, they always look at us like, is that all? I just kind of feel like that about it.
I love those stereotypes. I got to look that one up again.
Those are so much fun.
They are.
Like the Gets to the Fianna. They're almost as good at warriors as we are.
Yeah.
What? That's a compliment?
That's a compliment, yeah.
Beautiful. Moving on, though. I talked earlier about the Red Talons.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm waiting for you to bring that up. I'm a little curious.
Well, I'm going to tell you about it right now, and we're jumping way ahead, and we're going to jump back again, because Continuity's stupid. That's not true. Continuity's great. Pay attention to your Continuity, everybody. We're celebrating the wild by not doing things in order, much like the Black Furies do.
Look at that.
Yep, see? This is honoring the Black Furies by not doing this in any particular order. But, the Furies are part of the Margrave's European coalition.
Oh, I didn't know that.
They were early adopters, like the Red Talons.
Okay.
Those were the two tribes that first joined up with the Margrave. Well, the Furies were around the Balkans, as they do, doing their business, and they ran afoul of some Red Talon packs, who were doing similar business for perhaps different reasons.
Maybe a little different, yeah.
But, look, I'm here to murder, you're here to murder.
Let's murder together.
Let's be friends and murder, or at least stay out of each other's way.
Yeah.
Which is about when the Margrave swooped in and said, hey, everybody, I've got an idea.
Let's all murder together. and then I'll take over in the process.
Yeah, why don't you just do the right thing? That might have been actual audio, I'm not sure. Just do the right thing. Just like that. Oh, okay. And then they joined the European Coalition. They were the first members. Them, the Talons and the Black Furies. Once again, fucking early adopters. Trendsetters, you might say.
There you go, trendsetters.
What do you think? Trendsetters?
Absolutely.
There you go.
Well, I mean, we bring up the stepmothers, and then, like I said, we have that speculation of that Galliard, and maybe that's why it's the greatest loss. And yes, it's a shame, but something we haven't been able to do in the last few tribes is the speculation part. I'd love to hear if you had one of those.
Oh, Danny. We haven't done that in a while. I haven't had anything particularly juicy to work with.
That's why I'm asking.
Something to speak to me. And, I don't hear... I mean, again, with the wicked stepmothers, the idea of that talent of the worm being at the Sept of the Bygone Vision. Mm-hmm. That could be a fucking problem.
Yeah.
Especially if she knows about it. And we're going to assume she does, because then why else are we talking? Mm-hmm. And that could lead to some sort of raid on that. But, I mean, that's the heart of... That's Black Fury Town.
Right.
That's their big care. So, I mean, an assault on that level, that'd be something crazy. Because if I remember correctly, and I haven't looked up the Sept of the Bygone Vision in a while, but if I remember correctly, moon bridges won't even fucking complete to that place.
Really?
Without, the official say-so.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah. Hunter could not take a moon bridge there. You could be at the Wheel of Tha, And that cairn will take his bridges everywhere. There's no rules on the Wheel of Tha.
Okay.
And the Wheel of Tha will not take you to the Sept of the Bygone Visions. You'll stop short.
So it's more of a protection thing?
It's a protection thing.
Oh, that's really cool. And is it because there's the talon of the worm there?
No, it's just how it works.
Oh,
I mean...
Well then, out of curiosity, Melissa, you've story told a few times here and there, right?
Yes.
How would you run like a story like that?
The bridge just doesn't go there?
No, the sept itself, and then the stepmothers, and then that Galliard of that pack, or the Black Spirals, knows of that information. Could you run some kind of story like that?
Crap, that would be a very high level, because that Galliard is like an Athro. Like that's, yeah, that would be... Whew.
Wouldn't be a small feat.
No.
It would not be a small feat. That this pack is not just... It's a pack that's been together for ages. It knows... That Galliard, I was just doing a quick reread. That pack knows the sept of the one in Crete. That is like... Even that inner circle is not prepared to entertain this as a major threat. And it really is.
Yeah,
so
because of the information they know.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it would require, if I was going to run a pack chasing down this particular pack, it would have to be an advanced pack with, I hate to say it, experienced players who know exactly what they're running into. And then it's a case of sort of, using a method of a spiritual guidance and straight old detective work to kind of track this pack down. And then, of course, you've got the big combat scene at the end, which you can't guarantee and you can't guarantee as a storyteller if all your players are going to survive. So I don't like to set my players up for potential failure like that unless they're like, yeah, I want to do this because this is going to be mad renown. And it would be if they were all Black Furies and they were all like, yeah, let's do this. That's the only way I would do it. Because I know the traditional stuff of like the rite of the questing stone. These Furies are going to be too smart to be so easily picked up on the radar. You're going to have to do a lot of bending and groveling to spirits. You're going to have to use methods that may or may not be exactly, honorable to get the information to find this pack.
So I disagree. I think they'd be pretty easy to track down.
Do you think so?
Go to last known location with a bullhorn.
Okay.
And scream, will somebody make me a sandwich already? Oh my God. And they'll come to you. No tracking required. Just get everyone in position. Bait the trap.
Yeah, they have to be a man.
It would have to be a man.
Yeah,
yep.
He's the bait.
There you go. A simple bait and switch.
The man wouldn't survive, but you never know.
You could even use a recording at that point.
Yeah. The man wouldn't survive. But if you're doing it,
that's okay.
I was gonna say, but if it was up to them, it's probably preferred.
I actually see Segment doing that.
Oh my gosh, that'd be so funny.
I mean, that's just ballsy.
Just
borderline stupid enough
for Segment to do it. Yes.
Yeah. He would think it's a good idea to try it.
But that pack you were reading, I was reading. That pack, they use like the Black Fury, like their ideology and their tactics against them.
Oh, certainly.
So if they're if they're all about protecting and saving, I could see them like using the same aspects. Like there's a baby crying in a fire or something, and the motherly aspects of the Furies, we have to go save them. They would use that against them.
Perhaps with a recording and a bullhorn.
Or sandwiches.
Nope.
All of the above.
Crust cut off and everything. It's crazy.
With the crust cut off.
No tomatoes.
I wanted grape jelly, not strawberry.
What kind of psychopath requests grape jelly?
This one. Grape jelly is way better.
Ugh.
Especially if you're going to put cream cheese on it.
Oh. That just ruins everything.
I have been chiding people about jellies and jams all day. And I can't believe that's a true statement. I started my day with Lyric and his fancy apricot on French bread, and now I'm dealing with fucking grape jelly on cream cheese.
And peanut butter.
From the weirdo
crust
sitting...
cut off.
Oh. Hey, let's talk about the metamorphic plague.
All right. Yeah, that's probably a better idea.
Yeah.
What was the metamorphic plague?
What is the metamorphic plague?
Okay, what is the metamorphic plague?
Well, so what is the metamorphic plague? She might not have notes on this. I didn't mean to throw you under the bus.
I don't think this was on my notes.
All right, well, let me tell you about the metamorphic plague.
Yes.
It's all right. I'm sure you've got plenty of shit that I don't. In fact, the metamorphic plague, and we've said that enough already, is a disease that infects those who expose themselves recklessly to wild energy. It's a thing that manifests. It's running through the Furies right now, and it's a thing that manifests subtly.
Is it only through the Furies?
So far,
okay.
They're very wild attuned, which is something I don't think we've really said much. Which is odd for how important it is to them.
Right. Well, they don't focus on it enough.
They've got the number one wild foam fingers, each and every one of them. They're big fans.
Gotcha.
This plague, it manifests subtly. It'd be easy to go, it turns them into like some sort of gibbering freak, or it doesn't work that way. It changes the, and this is a quote here, the victim's inner being without drastically changing the outer. So, it'll start with like your strongest personality trait changing.
Like subtle changes though?
Yeah.
Slow. Okay.
Yeah. So maybe Hunter becomes like gentle and smart.
You had to throw smart in there, huh?
I did. Like articulate and fun to be around.
That'd be weird.
Like he's suddenly the life of the party.
Oh, yeah.
Which is not the character. Like, I'm fucking with you a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit, but
only a little.
No, I get where you're going with it, though.
Yeah, like you start to change. And you go, that's easy. Like, people change. They grow, And you're not going to the club every night. You're older than that now, or,
Mm-hmm.
It's not 93, so we don't have pogs anymore. But
Pogs. Hell yeah.
But,
got me my slammer.
Jesus, that's how it starts. But then it moves to physical changes. Eye color, complexion, hair color. The guy starts to lose their memory. And finally, there's even false memories that slide into place of the ones that existed. And the Garu ends up a different person entirely.
Inside and out.
Yeah, she takes on this new identity and role. They're still Garu, they're still Black Furies, Pegasus still acknowledges them. But, they're new people. And the thing is no one really understands what the hell is happening or why it's happening.
I was going to say, where is it coming from?
They don't know, it's happening. And that's the best they got.
Oh, see, I didn't
it's a
read
little
that
fucked
part.
up.
I knew you were going to read it, so I didn't.
Nice.
But it was...
Just run them over, Melissa.
Yeah,
the
please.
worst part is that it's contagious.
Yes.
It might start in one pack member and it spreads to the entire pack.
Oh, someone pulled up her book while we were talking.
Yes, she did.
Hey, good for you. That's fine.
All right.
Because
Yeah.
I had heard something about this, but I thought, yeah, okay, whatever. But yeah, it's actually, I saw it. And
I would call this the greatest tragedy to befall the tribe.
Oh, boy.
I don't know if it's something they want to acknowledge, though. That's the thing.
So nobody else knows about this except the Furies.
Exactly.
They're keeping it quiet. But I mean,
They're keeping secrets just as much as...
well, everyone does that. But like, how
sure.
would you address the nation with that? You know?
Hey, Sally over here, she used to be Jessica.
Yeah. Hey, everybody, it's Iona Kinslayer. And I just want you to know that we got diseases over here that make us into other people. So, it's crazy. You know what's going to happen with that?
Put the cigarette down and try and tell us again, please.
I mean, I guess one of the best examples that it gives is that, a Fury that's known as a nurturing mother suddenly changes overnight to being more aggressive and wants to join a pack that is like
Murdery.
balls to the walls.
Yeah.
So
So it's not that subtle then.
Well,
it
can
begins
be.
subtle.
Oh man.
You know,
It
this
begins
is
very subtle.
Yeah, it reminds me, and this is not the same thing even in the slightest, but it reminds me of False Wendigo.
Okay.
Where, you know, I mean, we're pulling back to Ways of the Wolf. There's an old fucking book. But, you know, you talk about False Wendigo to where, by and large, by the time you realize you've got a False Wendigo scenario...
It's too late.
Yeah, that guy's already done Onion Rings. You know, and that's like with the subtlety with this, you know. Suddenly I don't like pickles. Well, people change their tastes.
Yeah.
You know?
But...
And then, you know, sorry, I'm leaving my pack of nurturers to join the Viper Murder Squad.
Viper Murder Squad.
You know?
Yes.
And then Stephanie's now going by, I don't know, Danielle, Blood of More Blood.
Why did you point at me when you said that?
I'm just talking about.
Well, they all do now.
I needed a name. Danny was in front of me. What do you want?
Fine, fine.
No, but that's the thing is it creeps up. And the weird thing is it's not fatal.
No.
No.
Which is weird.
They're still Furies. Everything's still copacetic on that end. It's not like they're swapping teams. They're not becoming wild wolves. They're just
different.
They're not them anymore.
They're just another Fury.
Which is, like, from a morale standpoint, it's got to be frightening as shit.
I was going to say, but at the same time, maybe the best you can hope for, because no one's dying.
Yeah, but I mean, think about it this way, is, you know, your best friend just then not only changes person, but turns into an entirely different person in front of you. Yeah. Or your mother or your sister, because Furies. So
I got it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the thing is that there's no explanation as to where it's coming from.
Right.
It's not coming from one specific location on the globe. It just appears.
We think you're too close to wild energies. What does it even fucking mean?
Huh.
You know what I mean? Like, what does that even mean, honestly?
I don't know.
You can go to Flux and hang out there for a while, and as long as you don't screw around with anything, don't mess with stuff.
Yeah, I was going to say don't.
You'll come back fine. That's the wild's realm. And this is just affecting people and is contagious.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, frightening is a good word for it then.
I don't know. It's crazy.
All right. Well, I love the speculation part, so thank you for entertaining that.
I found a couple things, yeah.
So, you want to move on to camps?
We can move on to camps. Melissa, do you want to move on to camps?
Sure, we can move on to camps.
Let's move on to camps.
All right, camps. You want to throw them down here, Melissa?
Sure. So, I think the camps speak to a schism that is actually within the Black Furies itself. You have the two sides of how they want to deal with the worm or the crone or whatever you want to call.
Let's just stick with the worm for simplicity's sake.
Yeah,
for simplicity. So there's some in the camps that will want to just deal with the worm head on, just, you know, balls to the walls. Let's beat it where it stands and attack like everything that is even worm related. Fomori, kill it. Bane, kill it. Vampires, kill it.
Sounds good to me.
And then you've got the other half that's like, well, you know what? Let's not do it that way because we're just killing ourselves, killing them. And it's a war that we're not winning. So let's target humanity and our sacred duty. And it goes back to that thing that we talked about earlier and the thing, like the sacred duty of, you know, dealing with humanity. And for that, I think it kind of speaks to where this tribe sort of breaks apart. So the Amazons are the ones that would take the fight to the worm, and they just don't care. They just throw the bodies. So then you have the Bakans, and these are the ones that you and I, Porter and I, were talking about earlier. These are the Avengers that target men, rapists, murderers, matricides, vast polluters, the dregs of humanity. They'd rather waste time on the more obvious manifestations, so they focus on the criminals, they focus on the personal and violent punishments, and they are vicious. They are exactly what everyone thinks the Black Furies are. So these are the women that have no problem taking out men.
So these are the stereotypes, is what you're saying?
These are your stereotypes, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, the freebooters are my kind of favorite because I think they're really interesting, but unfortunately they're the smallest because their mission is to find these pure wild places. as you can imagine, there's not many wild places left.
No.
So they're because the wild places are constantly being tampered with. This camp is just getting smaller and smaller and smaller. But I think they're so interesting. And if I was going to run sort of a one-off, I'd have sort of like the freebooters. I'd have the players play freebooters finding a nice wild place, because it really makes you feel all good.
But at the same time, if there's not that many left, they'd have to do some serious searching to find it.
Exactly. Yeah. The Moon Daughters are tied to the modern world, and these guys are kind of interesting too. They're the most adaptable of all of the camps. The rites and the doctrines follow a more New Age paganism, and they understand that change is a part of life. And in this day and age, traditional processes, the way that things used to be, it doesn't have a place anymore. We need to take what our sacred duty and move on. Bring it with us into the 20th century. We need to kind of make ourselves, more modern.
Okay.
As you can imagine, the more traditional tribe camps are like, yeah, shut up. Just shut up. Sit down, you young ones, and shut up.
Yeah.
Yeah, shut up. I love it.
Yes.
And then you have the Order of the Merciful Mother, which seeks to reform human society using human tools like politics, arts, popular cultural, and the big one, religion. So a lot of these are part of religious orders like the Catholic Church.
Yeah, I find it hilarious that they take credit for the popularity of the Virgin Mary.
Yes. Yes. And again, I think this is an interesting camp, but as someone, if you don't want a religious person in your group, this is not a camp to encourage.
Well, I guess also thanks for strengthening the vampires' hold on shit.
Yeah,
nice work, ladies.
Oh, wow.
And then we have the Sisterhood, which are basically information networks. They have networks of contacts and that rivals that of the Bonars and the Glasswalkers, so they say. Mm-hmm. I don't believe that.
No, I think that's going to be one of those half-truths or outright lies we heard about earlier.
Yep, agreed.
I think they like to think they do, but I don't think they actually do.
I'm going to call bullshit on that.
A little bit.
The Furies who formed this camp have spent years getting guru, kinfolk, and other individuals out of the path of the church, especially during the era of the Inquisition. And they speak to that. So women who were able to perform magic under the thumb of the Catholic Church, these were the types that this sisterhood were the types that got them out of dangerous spots. So I think, historically speaking, they're kind of interesting, but I don't know if this is really a big thing anymore. So now they've focused more on networks and information gathering. And then finally, there's the Temple of Artemis. Interesting thing about these guys is that they are very old.
Yeah.
So
I saw that. I was, what though? And as funny as it is, it's interesting because they don't allow cubs and even
nope.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and there's probably maybe one Foster in the entire camp out of like 100.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like they're literally the eldest of the eldest. So in order to apply to be in the Temple of Artemis as a camp, you have to have done something, and you certainly have to be something that they would approve of. So they're the most conservative of camps. So as a result, they would really, really hate the Moon Daughters, who talk about the adaptability and bringing things into the 20th century. Mm-hmm. These guys are like going, They're the ones telling the Moon Daughters to sit down and shut up and let us do the talking.
Right.
They're very similar to the backhands. in terms, but act as the wisdom to their outlying rage.
Okay.
They talk about pulling away from the other tribes to focus on their internal matters. So focus on criminals rather than the war.
I think we're going to go back to that a little bit, though. I mean, think about it. They want to pull the Furies away from the Garou Nation.
Yeah.
They want to back out.
I don't think it means backing out. But just you know what? We're going to do it our way. Fuck y'all.
Well, yeah, and they say, dealing with the intertribal matters, I mean, that's just keeping the house clean.
Yes.
Yes, very much.
It took me a second. I'm sorry.
What are you talking about? I was going to say a great example of that would have been the metamorphic plague. It's an internal, in-house matter because they're keeping
the house clean.
That's fucked up, Danny.
Yeah, Yeah, because I definitely implied it.
I mean, they really do talk about tribal-only packs. So packs that only have Black Furies. If there's cross-tribal, so you've got, say, a Fenris and a Child of Gaia, because I know you love them, and a Shadow Lord, and a Black Fury, that is considered a travesty. And they consider that breaking Gaia's own laws. So they're really, really conservative.
Also, that poor Shadow Lord, I would want to lead that pack. I feel bad for him.
Well, he could be the alpha. You don't know that.
That's what I'm saying.
But,
he probably is.
No, that's what I'm saying. Is he's clearly the leader of that pack, and I feel bad for him because just what a motley crew.
Yeah, but you know what I mean.
Or he's the beta because he doesn't want to be.
Yeah, because he wants to turn the head, right? I was listening for that.
Yeah, see? She knows what I'm talking about.
But as a result, they have a strong influence over the political structure of the Black Furies themselves because they have the highest number of crones in their midst. And, I mean, I know I don't know if we will talk about the inner and outer circles, but the outer circle has the highest number of crones, which means the Temple of Artemis has a say in really the direction of how the tribe goes.
The entire tribe itself.
Yeah.
Right. Huh.
Well, we talk about those, the different circles as part of the tribe.
Now, the other scary thing about this particular camp, and this is what struck me as I was reading it, I'm like, ooh, this doesn't look good. They have been known to stand in judgment of Black Furies who have broken the law without the knowledge or consent of either the inner or outer circle, especially in cases of multi-tribal septs that will not meet with appropriate justice. So they will do their own justice without any permission from anybody else.
Pull a Judge of Doom, if you will.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
You know what, though? At the same time, I appreciate the camps. They're not so much about we talk about transparency, and this camp is very much like this other tribe, and this camp is very much like this tribe.
Yeah, there's not so much a case of that here.
There's a little bit, but not much. And and they also refer to their camps as, and again, I don't know Greek. I'm probably butchering it. Kuklos?
Yes.
Did I say that correctly?
I have no idea.
Okay, well, we'll go with it.
That is how I would pronounce it, but I don't know, because again, I don't have the knowledge of Greek behind me to be able to pronounce it correctly.
No, I tried putting it in like Google Translator. I only spent a minute on it. I didn't bother going too far, but like, how do you say this word? And it was like kuklos. I was like, I'm pretty sure that's not it. It just made even more of a joke, but
it might be. I don't.
I couldn't tell you.
So, anything else on camps, Porter?
No. I think that was covered pretty well.
Okay.
I mean, like I skipped the camps because I knew you weren't gonna.
Yeah. I usually get them. We have our format.
Exactly.
And which one do we do? Camps or brood?
Yeah,
or,
we know.
Totems first.
We know what the other guy's gonna do.
Hey, it's been over a year now.
Now unless you talk about the structure of, I guess how things are
the inner
done.
and outer circle.
Yeah, that is probably something we should at least touch down on.
Okay. What do you got?
Nothing. I was looking at you.
I didn't.
Okay.
Okay.
Did we have a trifecta here, or did we pull the hat trick, or do you have something, Melissa?
I have stuff because remember I prepared.
Oh, wow. That was a dig on both of us.
It's almost like I saw your notes a couple days ago and intentionally didn't, so you make sure to have a lot of spotlight room because you're the guest.
So these are the ruling bodies of the Black Furies. To be a member is a high honor.
Of which
it's
one?
Broken down into two. And again,
okay. The inner
I can't
and outer
pronounce.
circle.
Yeah, the inner and outer, and it's Calyx. Calyx.
Not Capex.
It's not a Capex. The inner is interesting. It's made up of 5 members, one of each auspice. Rank
Much like
is
the
not
Gorgons.
a determination for membership, and Artemis herself chooses the members according to the Black Furies. It is Artemis herself that chooses the members.
Terrible
How
idea.
that works out, I don't know. I don't know if you get like a memo or an email or like a vision quest or what. But they just know that you are a member now. Yay you.
Just send a loon.
I was going to say, a Strider comes to you and says, hey, I have a message from a Glasswalker. You need to go to their tribe. And then you go to the Glasswalker sept where they have an email for you.
I don't know. The thing about this is that the members are unknown to the rest of the tribe. Nobody knew who these people are.
So they very much well don't exist?
Yeah.
So is the Black Fury Illuminati.
Effectively. The only time you would know, and I think they had a story about it at one point, is that if you're a member of the 13, which is the outer, they have an idea or at least a concept of who is on, that a new inner circle has been selected. They don't know who. They just know that a new one has been selected.
This sounds like a terrible idea.
So there's 13 outer, 5 inner.
That's right.
No one knows who the inner are except maybe those 5, if at all.
No. So there's 5 in the inner.
Right.
The outer, there's 13.
So nobody knows who the inner are except the 5 themselves.
Yes.
And they were handpicked by the craziest spirit in Crazy Town.
Pretty much.
Yes.
And I would revisit that structure.
Who is going to question Artemis, though?
Why, I think...
Which Black Fury would question Artemis?
Well, I probably none of them, but that's kind of my point.
Exactly.
Is, fucking, let's rethink this.
Mm-hmm.
Because, again, with Luna is doing the picking, but if no one knows, you also had that level of, no one said it was me. Prove that didn't happen.
Right? No, I get it. Prove it.
It feels like it might be a mistake.
Yeah.
And then you have the 13 of the outer.
Yes.
Yeah.
And maybe one of those 13, hey, Luna comes to her and says, I need you to be part of the inner now because there's a spot opened up. And then they're all like, hey, why has Jennifer not been here for like 2 weeks? Is she part of the inner circle happens now?
Because people, so in the outer, people die. These are not ones that sit in Greece and just sit there and rule and, eat grapes and whatever. These are people who literally are scattered throughout the world. So they each have, for these 13 members, each have a protectorate of some sort that they have to monitor and watch. So again, rank is not a determination for membership. Membership is determined every 3 years. So it is actually, it's not a voting process. It's not a democracy. It is chosen by lot. And normally prior to the beginning, there's games and politickings with the Fury trying to make herself look as good as possible to get picked to be to be put on this outer circle. However,
one of the 13 cool kids.
Yeah, this doesn't matter because members can be chosen multiple times and it is made completely randomly. And I must highlight the randomness of this because they claim it's completely random and they're told that it's completely random. But funnily enough, no metis, no males have ever sat on this outer circle.
What a crazy random happenstance.
Yeah.
You know.
That's just, it's so wild.
I see what you did there.
What?
Wild.
I know, right?
I can't believe that.
I do.
I can't believe that.
Well, I mean, obviously, I say no metis, no males because the only males in the tribe are either kinfolk or metis.
Right.
There is no male.
Right.
There's no male trueborn guru
We
in the
probably
Black
should
Furies.
have picked on that in the beginning of this episode, but
Just talking about
It's fine.
again, it is a tribute
I
to the
think
wild. We're doing this
everybody
out of
knows
order.
that.
oh, okay. You know what though? But I like that because I want to hit that real quick.
Yeah, go nuts.
With the males only being metis as far as the Garu or kinfolk.
Right.
I see it as like if that's the case, they're the only ones who are allowed in the tribe. It's because it's almost like it's that mother's punishment for breaking that law.
Well, let's add to that is the fact that it would be irresponsible to discard a child. In that, that's what I'm looking for. There's the maternal aspect
Right.
of you don't just throw a baby out. This isn't China. All right.
Yeah.
So that's why.
And I hate to be cynical about this, but
have you
a
listened to the
metis
show?
male is less likely to be able to advance quick enough to be a threat to any of the higher stationed group. I hate to say it, and I might be just cynical about this, but that might be another reason why they keep them.
Well, I see why you would say it though, and especially in a tribe of warrior women.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's a species of warrior women and men. Either way,
Yeah.
they keep the male metis, and they throw the non-metis, either the baby boys. They throw them around. Usually, Children Gaia.
Children Gaia.
Most commonly, the Children Gaia.
Right.
It seems like a waste.
I think it's stupid.
I think it's a bit of a waste.
Yeah. I agree. It's a waste. You wonder why the Children of Gaia is such a large tribe and the Furies are such a small tribe.
Well, that's the Furies' fault.
Yes.
Because they're cutting half of their numbers intentionally right there. But, Furies are no slouches in the battlefield.
Right.
Oh
no, they're absolute warriors.
So let's give our males to the Children of Gaia?
Yeah, and the thing that I couldn't find anywhere in the book is to why they do that. It's just conjecture, but there's nowhere where they say, this is why we do this.
Yeah, they don't...
It's not really explained, yeah.
No, but I mean, with the rhetoric of the tribe, you understand, even if it's kind of a poor decision.
Right.
Yeah.
But, I mean, surely they would be better off keeping the males around, even if they were second-class citizens. To try to...
boost numbers?
Well, alter their behavior.
Okay. Oh, okay. No,
raise them within the tribe to make them stop being the things that you don't... I'm not saying do it. They don't...
No, I know what you're saying, though.
But, we don't like these qualities.
Yeah,
we can discourage the qualities by keeping them with us and kind of beat those things out of them.
No, I see what you're saying. Like, the things of the men that they don't like.
Right. They could just...
keep their men around so they can push the ideas of treat women better.
We'll just use those words.
Yes. That way we're not going any farther.
Right.
Yes. Agree.
You get what I'm saying, yeah?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, absolutely.
It seems to me that would be the better idea. But no, they're choosing to have their numbers and then give these potentially awesome warriors to the tribe that least deserves awesome warriors. I feel like... I understand not giving them to the Geta Fenris.
The Geta Fenris are awesome.
Of course they are, but there's bad blood there.
Yeah,
so I understand them not going, we hate you more than anything, here's all our males.
Yeah.
Get it. But again, there's not like a Fianna around, or maybe some kick-ass Wendigo that would... Well, they won't take him anyway. But... surely, a Guinness and a baby. Just send him right to Scotland. You wrap it with a Guinness, You make Fiona.
Yeah,
it's like a Happy Meal.
No, I get it. Any other tribe would be happy to have, hey, look, stronger.
Yeah. More numbers, some solid warrior stock.
Yes.
That they don't want. Mm-hmm. Fucking found money.
No, but let's give them to the tribe that goes the least on combat.
Yeah. I just, what a waste. I mean, am I the asshole here or what?
No, you're absolutely not.
No.
Okay, well then, I think we should kind of pivot over to Pegasus and the rest of the totems.
All right. Well, Pegasus, despite the fact that we just talked about, the ferocity of the Black Fury, Pegasus is not a war totem.
No.
Pegasus is a totem of respect.
Weirdly enough.
And I guess not weirdly for what Pegasus is, but I think weirdly for some of the behaviors we've just talked about.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. But, that is something that the Furies they need to keep in mind more often. Mm-hmm. I think. That's not even me. That was from the book.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That, they could stand to bear in mind a little more strongly. Okay. Pegasus is a totem of wisdom. But, Pegasus demands the children protect the helpless, females of all races, and there's a distinction here between weak and helpless.
Yeah, I thought that was really interesting.
Yeah, I appreciate this, even though it would raise some questions that we're not going to ask in terms of the tribal rhetoric.
Right.
But, the idea of the weak and helpless distinction is important because, for example, the strongest guru on the planet, right, could be chained up and is therefore rendered helpless.
Yes.
Despite all of the strength. Yeah, it's a paraphrasation of an example they gave. But the weak will submit without chains at all. So it's that distinction.
Yeah, and like I said, I get it. I find it really interesting. If they're weak, but they can still help themselves, why are we bothering?
Yeah, Pegasus has no desire to help those who won't help themselves. Right. And I appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely. Mm-hmm. Agreed. So, Melissa, did you pick any of the of Pegasus's brood that you found interesting?
I was looking at the Gorgons in particular.
Yeah. Each of the Gorgons can be as part of Pegasus' brood, which I thought was really cool.
Yes. So originally, the Gorgons were a single totem under Medusa. So as it stands now, the five are now split apart.
Correct.
And Medusa was the first one to leave, which meant them all sort of break apart. And again, I don't want to butcher the names because
it's fine.
I'm a little. You have Uriel, you have a Helena, you have Ethema, Thano, and Medusa, and they're all separate totems. And I kind of made a note when I was reading through this, is like, while they're not a single totem anymore, how interesting it would be as a story hook or a campaign hook to bring all the Gorgons back together again as a totem.
Well, you bring this up, and we promised a return to Medusa. Mm-hmm. Look what just happened. Look what just happened, everybody. We did it.
We did it.
We did it. Medusa has fucked off somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Which is, she broke up the band, for starters. And then just fucked right off. So we don't know where or why.
Yeah. Which
is a hell of a mystery. So you bring up this concept of, reuniting the Gorgons under one umbrella. Well, where's Beyonce in all this? You gotta go find her.
Exactly.
Yeah, she's the holdout on this. And so what happened to her? And they don't say, they offer a couple suggestions, but they don't tell you. So it's really up to you. And that could make for some really interesting shit.
Yeah. No, that'd be cool. All right, well, you picked up the Gorgons, which I thought, again, it was really cool. Each of them could be part of the brood. I was noticing Panther, which is weird and it's also very rare as part of the brood, as part of a totem, because of the bad blood of the War of Rage.
Right. And also, the Pegasus is the natural prey of the Panther.
Oh.
That's why you don't see, they have the Panther wards are in the Pegasus farms.
Now I know.
It's half the battle, man. Go on.
No, it was just, but the ban for taking Panther as your totem, you have to aid in any felines that are in distress.
Come on, man.
Yep.
Whew.
There's
Listen.
a pack of spirals, but there's a cat in the tree, and the firefighter can't reach him.
Listen. I know we don't do reviews here, so I don't remember who wrote the damn book. I don't. If we did reviews, who wrote the book would be front and center. How dare you perpetuate the crazy cat lady in totem form?
I saved that one just for you.
Oh, son of a bitch. Help, the cairn's on fire, but there's a kitty.
But the kitty.
There's a kitty, everybody. Fuck off, man.
You're welcome.
Oh.
All right. So, Panther. Melissa had the Gorgons.
Yeah.
What did you get out of Access Monday?
Yeah, how did you know I went to Access? I'm not even going to perpetuate this joke. All right. I got a couple things.
All right.
I got a couple things. First, we have Chimera, the Masks of Man. It's a little bit like Manos, the Hands of Fate.
Okay.
It's not. This is, of course, completely independent of the totem Chimera.
Okay.
All right, different thing.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's a little close, but
Yeah, well, there's
close
aspects,
enough.
man. This is not that.
Right.
It's really interesting and kind of fucking weird.
Okay.
Okay, because this one represents the divided nature of man.
Mm-hmm.
All right, the body and like the head, it's different looking depending on, right. You have the noble and powerful lion. You have the head that recoils like a stubborn, like it's the goat, and then you got the dragon.
Cool visual.
Yeah, which is less than nice. It's spewing fire and lies, if you will.
Right.
Okay, but and the tail as well. This changes depending on the Gaffling's dominant nature. This is a Gaffling. So, like, again, if it's like a noble, it's a lion's tail.
Okay.
It changes to reflect the person. And what I'm leaving out here, because when I say the divided nature of man, I mean a specific man.
Okay.
That's the part I left out here. Because what it does is this sumbitch attaches itself to a particular man.
Looking for somebody specific.
Kind of. Sometimes it's sent out, sometimes not. You can learn gifts from him, but in exchange, you become the guy.
Oh.
And it's very strange. Because again, the behavior of the Chimera will also reflect what's in the heart of the guy.
Mm-hmm.
And who to heretofore we'll call the Chimera's master. And we're putting that in quotes.
Mm-hmm.
We'll go back to that.
Okay.
All right. So again, like if the master is a shitty guy, maybe you're going to get that dragon tail, and he's going to be a shitty Chimera. He's going to be a dick. He's just a destructive monster, and like the fur's going to be darker. He's going to be rattier. Like it's interesting how the appearance will alter a bit, but he roams around the penumbra near the master.
Okay.
And just wreaks fucking havoc. All right, is just bad news bears.
All right. Just whatever he can get his hands on, just wants to destroy.
It's not really specific. Just he simply rages. Quote: he simply rages, devastating all in his path. Just fuck it, let's rumble.
Cool.
Right. Well, here's the problem. You're walking around with 12 rabid Tasmanian devils chained to your hip with the Umbra, right?
Okay.
So there's already a problem just in general. And it's possible for this guy to manifest in the realm, but that becomes a bigger deal.
Okay.
I mean, it's going to take a lot of power, but it doesn't matter because you can't defeat this guy on the normal way.
And this is the one that the Chimera is attached to.
Well, this is the Chimera itself.
Okay.
Okay, it's just he follows his master like a fucking puppy dog with an attitude problem was the words that were used, and I feel it's a disservice. I feel like it's more like a flaming bull in a china shop.
Okay.
Or perhaps a china and baby shop.
Oh my god.
Oh.
Just to give a little more squish. But
oh my god.
there's only one of this guy, and he attaches himself to this master. And he can only be defeated by the master.
Okay.
All right, is the Chimera is a reflection of himself. You know, hostile as hell, but you can't fight him. The only way to defeat him is by changing whatever shittiness is about you. So, like, you know, if you're going to encounter this guy, it's really a big role-playing opportunity, because Dex Brawl will not help you. Yeah. It's interesting, and it's kind of weird and kind of wacky, and I haven't seen anything like that before in the other broods, because it's not so much a servant of Pegasus as something that Pegasus helped do to people.
Yeah, that's weird.
Right? It's like chaining a gremlin to you, and you're like, man, I love that movie. Except you remember, like, a gremlin is this shitty monster who breaks things and claws at people. Mm-hmm. And all your stuff's ruined. Damn it.
Yeah, I used to love that movie. Not anymore.
We also have, and I believe it's Haima, the Red Mothers.
Okay.
Who appear as pools of blood, and they occasionally manifest as ghostly women cloaked in red mists or versions of the moon. And these are minor spirits of creativity and fertility. That is a woman's birthright. They're not particularly intelligent in a usual sense, but they understand intentions and emotions. You know, they can impart visions, when summoned to help ease pain, which they'll do even if it's a man. Though otherwise they just will not deal with it. Like the angry ones, they feel betrayed and share pain accordingly. They can teach gifts of healing, pain, honesty. They can teach low-level rites or grant prophetic visions. But something else, you know, I mean, again, they won't appear in front of a man, unless previously mentioned, or unless a female follower specifically asks them to. They're unable to harm living things, but now we go to the material correspondence. And this is something that I have talked about before and we have made jokes about before. And some of you dicks have looked at me and said, that's gross and you're a weirdo and I hate you. Material correspondence is a blood offering, ideally menstrual blood. Suck it, Danny.
Oh my god.
Why would you write that, Porter, you weirdo? Yeah.
You got me.
I got many of you.
Yeah.
Tell me I don't know what I'm talking about.
Well done.
Moving on, we also have...
Did you, save that just for this episode or something?
I knew a thing. What do you want from me?
Alright, that's fair.
We have Pegasus Scaflings.
Okay.
Which I almost don't even want to bother talking about. Because a Gaffling of the totem, that's what a shock.
Yeah.
You know? Mm-hmm. But what's interesting is that in this case, Pegasus pulls from itself. And these Gafflings are aspects of Pegasus. Mm-hmm. They're actually color-coded, which is, I guess, really convenient.
Yeah.
But, so, you know, here's a blue Pegasus Gaffling. and it's going to run out, and it's there for a certain job.
Okay.
All right. Like, there's not a whole lot of meat here, but you know, she'll send one out, and the aspect will do whatever it was sent to do, be that protect or offer a vision or offer some healing or, you know, assist in defeating the thing, whatever. Mm-hmm. And then it immediately returns and rejoins Pegasus.
So when all the different colors combine, do they make the Mega Pegasus?
And thou form the head.
Oh, God.
I was just thinking of, like, Power Rangers, dude.
Oh, God.
See, I went to Voltron because it's a little chilly in here.
Well done. Nice.
Oh, boy.
Yep.
And then finally there's the triptych. Again with that foreshadowing nonsense. Yeah. The Maiden, the Mother, and the Crone.
Okay. Which
are not the Worm, the Weaver, and the Wild in this particular instance, but are I guess they're separate Jacklings.
Okay.
Who will appear, and I mean, it's just like it sounds, in the form of like an older, a middle, you know, the different stages. They represent the different stages of womanhood. And, you know, technically the three spirits together, they always come in, is a trifecta. That's the hat trick every time. And they're not, again, this is a weird situation because they're not exactly, they're part of Pegasus brood by choice.
Right.
Not by any sort of lineage or creation. Or, you know, it's almost like we've decided to join you.
Okay.
You know, you get the express opinion that the triptych, they do what they're going to do, and they've decided to be here. And, they will appear differently, in the eye of the beholder. You have the 3 age range is fine, but how they look physically when they manifest will be different from me than it would be from you, than it would be from Alyssa.
Okay, I see what you're saying then.
And they're known to appear when needed. They drop prophecy or wisdom through riddled speech. And really what you want to do here is you want to think about like the weird sisters of Macbeth. And at that point, you pretty much got it.
Okay.
I mean, that's the gist.
No, I see where you're going with it,
Go read Macbeth. Just do it.
Don't forget his pants.
There are no fetishes in Macbeth. We will not discuss this again.
Okay. That's been a hell of a story on the Furies here. So.
Yeah, that's the Brood.
Yeah.
I did find something in terms of rights.
Okay.
That I thought was, I don't know, interesting? Odd? I don't know the word I want to use for it. But it's the right of Cairn birthing.
Oh.
Did either one of you pick this up?
I did not.
I did see it, but it wasn't one of the ones that I flagged as,
perfect.
Scary.
We have been shying away from some of those toys lately because there's kind of better things to talk about.
Yes.
But I found this one interesting in terms that it's an alternate method of Cairn creation.
Okay.
Rather than, your normal Red Cairn building. Okay, you start pretty much the same thing. Okay. You find the ground, you cleanse the ground, you make the ground safe. And now, at that point, they use a pregnant woman as the focus. The woman can be Hamid, or human, Garu, wolf, just fucking whatever. She's got to be pregnant.
Okay.
And at that point, and I did not make this up.
So you're warning me, is what you're saying.
Yeah, because you're not going to believe I didn't make this up.
Okay.
At this point, that pregnant woman is named Maya.
Okay. No, go ahead.
This isn't, for instance, you are now Maya. Perhaps the Maya. Okay. Did not make that up. We know how I like to name things to make it easier.
Yep.
We look back to Smash, Ash, Trash, and the mouth triplets.
Okay, yeah, I was going to say those. Yep.
So
they're coming.
So Maya, which is the name for the rite, is brought to the potential Cairn site, where, when she's near labor.
Okay.
Surrounded by female Garu, they're singing hymns, is a little, it's very new agey. Non-Furies can be present, but they have to be female. And then Fury Metis can be there, but that's the only exception.
Oh.
The only male exception is the Metis.
Okay. So not even kinfolk then.
Yeah, there you go. Now, there's a single crone who can aid the mother through the labor, but no other assistance can happen. And the Furies present, quote, must instead fill their hearts with love for Gaia, beseeching her to take Maya as an inspiration and create a Cairn here with the child's birth. So they say pretty please. Now, if the rite's successful, the fate of the newborn child and Cairn are tied for the remainder of the child's life. The kid is forever immune to the delirium, even if there is no Garu relation whatsoever.
Really?
Yeah.
That kid ain't going anywhere.
Well, that depends. Because the different septs treat the Maya and the newborn child differently, as particularly if they're not kinfolk. Some take the kid in, take it from its mom, by the way.
Yeah.
Which is, this baby is ours now, fuck off. And, look, the wicked stepmothers over here. So they steal the baby by mom, and they raise the kid in the Cairn. Some adopt both the mother and the child as honorary kinfolk. At least one sept has let the mother and child return to their ordinary lives, believing that if the child's fate is sealed to the Cairns, it's best that the child live out its true destiny. Which is woefully reckless, but pretty neat.
Yeah, I was going to say a little reckless.
I would assume, obviously, they keep someone on that.
Yeah, there's probably some kind of
throw a couple of the Metis just to watch Cassie. Just keep an eye on Cassie.
Cassie, your good neighbor Cassie.
I just named her Cassie.
Okay, but forever immune to the delirium.
Yeah, that can go the wrong way.
Very, very easily.
And how the circumstances, of course, of the delivery holds omens regarding the Cairn itself. So, like a quick and healthy birth is it bodes well for the cairn. If it's a metis baby, we don't love that. But, that means that they're going to have to work extra hard to make things okay. If the kid's stillborn, the rite fails.
Oh, no.
The death of the Maya and the child is considered to be a pretty bad omen. That's bad news bears. But so, even that factors in. And I just thought it was a little interesting. I mean, it ties into some of the more positive aspects of the tribe.
Yes.
But it was an interesting spin on cairn creation.
No, I like it. And I get why you bring it up, because, again, there are some good parts to this. And, again, that really positive one, the motherly aspects of the tribe, that's huge.
Mm-hmm.
I wish they would lean more on that kind of stuff.
Than the
men be evil.
Well, we do have penises.
Oh, darn. So we're evil.
No, you're not.
Well, thank you for saying so.
Right here, we heard it.
So, all right. That was awesome. Melissa.
Yes.
Final thoughts on the Black Furies?
They're a joy to play. I enjoy playing them every time I play one. I think that they have a certain nobility about them. They have a sacred duty that is compelling. Maybe not always the way they go about it, but I like the concept. And I find that in games where, and I have to say this, they're in games where there are, a very low female representation, this tribe really can speak to the female in the group without sounding too, pro-feminist. It's just,
I know what you're saying, though. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I think that this tribe really can offer something to everyone, and I enjoy them.
All right. Oh, very cool.
Fair enough. I think building from that, I can't. I can't speak from your perspective as a female gamer, what with not being a female gamer, but but I have very rarely ran a group without a woman in it, at least one. But I have also never heard of a group who wouldn't welcome the shit out of that.
Yeah.
You hear this thing, and Melissa, you weren't saying it, but it reminded me of it, and here we are. You hear this thing about representation, and sometimes there's an idea, a misconception there that men aren't interested in, they want it to be a boys' club.
No,
but there's that misconception.
There is a misconception,
and it's like, man, I promise you that every middle school, high school gaming group right now that doesn't have one is begging for women to join.
I agree.
Begging for it.
Yeah.
Because
they can just be just as good role players, if not better.
Well, certainly, but who, first of all, we all want more people playing.
Yes.
Just bottom line, we want more people.
Male or female.
More asses in seats.
Yes.
But you're 13, 14 years old, yeah, you want to have to not pretend like you're not really playing werewolf with your friends in someone's basement over the weekend, right? But there are girls that like this too. Yes, there are.
Yeah.
The guys are excited about that. Don't let people fool you.
No. I mean, I can honestly say I've run into it twice, but it was more like a surprise rather than, oh God, it's a female. But it wasn't a bad experience. It was just it taught me something that it's okay to like the weird stuff too.
Right. And again, speaking from the male population, we dig when that happens.
Yes. Definitely.
If we're not sharing that information, it's because we're afraid you're not going to like us anymore.
That's pretty much it. That's the male brain right there.
It really is. So there's a lesson to be learned in that. No, I think from an actual in-game standpoint, I find the Furies a little irksome.
Yeah.
And not only because of the rhetoric, but because I feel that they are wasting an awful lot of energy with humanity.
Okay.
And I know that's part of their core, and it's, they look at their sacred duty there. I just think, and I look back, we just did it. So the Shadow Lord episode where they emphasize that our duty is to protect Gaia from humanity.
Yes.
Not the other way around.
Whereas the Furies is almost vice versa.
Almost.
Yeah.
And so, like, I find it to be a little irksome of, there's this section where they talk about their involvement in helping women in America get the right to vote. Mm-hmm. And we didn't talk about it because it's like a paragraph and there's not really any meat to it.
Right.
But, like, why... It even mentions that, like, a lot of the Furies are like, why do we give a shit about this? And I feel like that's the kind of attitude that the guy would need to have.
I see what you're saying, yeah.
Yeah, that's really what I find irksome, is they're spending too much time on the monkeys. We got some worm problems here.
Let's take care of that first.
Right. That's just what I'm saying.
All right.
Danny?
No, that's pretty much it. I mean,
no, you have to give an opinion. You don't get to do that.
Yeah, come on now.
I'm getting there. Holy crap.
Whatever.
There is depth. I like that there is. I'm a little bummed out that most of that is covered by the men be evil. Yeah. It's some of that stuff. This still can be a really cool tribe without that. There's still a lot of depth in it. Like I said, I've 3-4 times already. The motherly aspects. If they pushed more of that in these books, rather than, we're just as good as men, if not better, I wouldn't have a problem. They're still a cool tribe. I still recommend anyone who's looking at them, go for it. Play the character, not the dots on the sheet. But,
right?
Yeah, absolutely. Still a cool tribe, and if that's what you're interested in, going for it, do it. But maybe focus more on that stuff rather than what's pushed on.
I think well said. So Melissa.
Yes,
thank you for joining us today.
Yes, thank you, Melissa.
It was so much fun.
I'm glad you think so. There were a couple times we lost you for a second.
Never. I was listening intently.
That makes one of us. So you're the one, huh? All right.
You need one of us.
We want to thank you so much for joining us on this one.
It was a pleasure.
And, maybe we'll have you back sometime for, I don't know what, but...
Please do.
If you're open to it, we could talk about it.
Absolutely.
Of course. And I'll even come up with some French words for you.
Oh. Strudel?
Yes. Strudel is a French word.
Yeah.
I'm rolling my eyes here.
And then, you should roll some sushi, which is another French delicacy.
It also means, hey, we need to wrap it up.
See? You wrap it.
You need poutine.
You wrap it. Excellent. Well, you enjoy that Vegemite there, Melissa. But in the meantime, I'm afraid we're going to have to go.
All right.
So thanks again for joining us. And hey, you guys out there, thank you so much for listening. We love the shit out of you. And you guys you be good to each other. You take care of yourselves, each other. Keep on howling, and we will see you next time. We'll see you.